Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. Buildings where windows are below the surface reveals mud flood. From an earlier age, doors where stairs lead you straight into the underground. Evidence of history never told, and these lies of his story is falling apart. There's a great mystery surrounding the story of 1788 and the structures that lay on Australia, suggesting the country is older than what we have been told. They tell us of a great flood of 1891 that covered houses in low-lying areas where 3,000 were left homeless. The first recorded flood in Melbourne was 1863, where population was about 80,000, they say. If this was true, then who built these buildings to their founded date? The numbers don't stack up. What their secrets and lies was to keep us in the debt system and keep us paying taxes for the tire of our lives. Adelaide, established in 1836. His story says it was a planned colonial state. They say the oldest church constructed in 1838. Adelaide, known as the City of Churches, because it has the most Gothic-style churches in the country. But why would you build so many churches when there isn't many people around? They mostly lived in Sydney and Melbourne. His story is fabricated, and all these buildings were here before the last reset. These buildings were here before the mud flood, and then after, other buildings were built around. Some churches were built during our time and to try and make them fit in with the prior building of the Tartarian Empire, but none of them have looked as magnificent like the prior days. Australia's history is older than what we have been told. Penrith Station, where bricks now cover up what used to be windows that were below the surface prior to the mud flood, and doors fit enough for giants. A sign next to the bus stops asking if there was an underground tunnel that went from the station to the Red Cow, which is across the road. Was it an urban myth, or did it happen? What happened to the tunnels today? Why would the council even ask the question and fuel the conspiracy? Ask yourself, was there a tunnel? These are the cells on the 1800s convict ships. In 1787, the First Fleet, a group of convict ships, departed from England to establish the first colonial settlement in Australia. As a penal colony, the First Fleet included boats containing food animals from London. The ships and boats of the fleet would explore the coast of Australia by sailing all around it, looking for suitable farming land and resources. The fleet arrived in Botany Bay, Sydney on 18th of January 1788, then moved to Sydney Cove, which later became Circular Quay, and established the first permanent European settlement in Australia. This marked the beginning of the European colonisation of Australia. This is Port Arthur Jail. The official story is that when the convicts came by ship from England, they were made to construct the building. Let me ask you, you're asking a bunch of uneducated criminals to construct a magnificent structure with primitive tools, when today builders who spend at least 4 years learning the trade with better technology can't even get a more simple building constructed without cracking appearing a few years later. So then, who built Port Arthur? The answer may be that they were already there, or the technology they had were far more superior to what we have been told, and that we were lied to.